Hey, phony homies. Welcome to week 3, where we discuss waiver wire ads, injuries, studs, duds, and so much more. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is the one, the only, Dustin Lingerman.
What's up, my guy?
The crowd's going wild. What's up, DL? What's up, man?
What's
How
up?
you doing, bro?
Nothing, man. The crowd should be going wild because I kicked major ass this week, and that's what it's all about. Like, I'm stomping some motherfuckers. You know what my favorite thing is? Like, oh, I wish I would have known this or that. I was like, should have been watching our show. Should have been watching.
All the time, bro. All the fucking time. I'm surprised how many people are always constantly telling me, hey, we tune in and, we got some great advice and we want our matchup. So it's fucking always awesome. Always, always awesome. Oh, I like that little comment thing that you pulled up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Once we get, I'm sure I like this because you could just overlay it instead of me just like hitting it.
Sick.
So as soon as we get some our comments.
Oh, yeah. I see some of the viewers jumping in here. They're jumping in.
Lordy goose, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta censor him. But
yeah.
What it is.
Yeah, it's okay. No worries. DL, week 3. We just passed week 1. We just passed week 2. We're starting off here with our waiver wire show as usual. Before we get into it, DL, I do want to remind the phony homies at home, DL, if they want to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, where can they do that?
Tweet FFG.
Real easy, real simple. And if they want to get a question answered by us, what is the hashtag we're always trying to get trending? Yeah.
Ask us FFG.
Pretty easy. Also, if you prefer to use email, if you don't have Twitter or X, what they call, I think they call it X these days, you can always send an email. DL, where can you send those emails?
Super simple. Ask us FFG@gmail.com.
You got enough hats, DL? Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love that thing. That, like, I just love it because people are like, damn, dude, you really like your hats. And I do. They're my go-to, bro. Especially, awesome. The weekend. Don't really feel like, doing the hair. Just want to chill for a second. It's great.
Yeah, no, legit. It's something you can accessorize
Suck it, Lord Goose.
The time. Yes. Well, continuing on, DL, if people don't want to use email and they want to send us texts, phone calls, voicemails, DL, where can they send those?
Really easy. Or medical questions, scabs, weird rashes, nasty. Maybe even do a Shannon, like a Shay Shay. You can send that to or text it to area code 708-655-4508, and JC will respond. And he may leak it on his live IG. So
yeah, video clips. Send me those video clips so I can leak them live on Insta. That was ridiculous, DL. That whole Shannon Sharp thing, dude.
Dude, that was awesome. I was
just like, hey.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna say that to my one. Be like, you better submit. What the like?
Yeah. Good for Unc, bro. Good for Unc.
Good for him.
It's good exposure. Good exposure. DL, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and
smash
the notification button. That way you know when we go live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. DL, we got another jam-packed show. Don't want to waste too much more time. I want to get right into it. Okay. First and foremost, how are you doing in fantasy right now?
Bro, like I said, I'm styling, I'm driving, bro. Okay, so last week, I'm in 4 leagues, by the way, just set the table. I won three. In 2 of those teams, I beat my opponent by 20 to 30 points. My home league, I'm 2-0. I just kicked the shit out of Ben. Yeah, Ben, you fucking suck at fantasy. I love him. But we go head to head every year. Anyways, long story longer, beat him by 90 points. 90. Why, you ask? I'll tell you. Because I had, I had Marvin Harrison Jr. who finally showed up, dude. Finally showed up with 3 tutties, right? 130 yards receiving. And then I also had Devon Achan, who went on Thursday night. 29 points, 96 yards, 1 tutty. But last but not least, the king of fantasy football this week, Mr. Alvin Kamara. 45 points, 115 yards, 4 touchdowns. I was watching with my girls, and I was losing my mind. I was like, holy shit, he's scoring again. And there's like, what's going on? This was great. So, the Saints are off to a very, very good start. They're cooking teams left and right. We'll see. I think they may come back down to earth eventually, but I'm going to take all the Kamara I can handle, my guy. No duds for any of anybody on that team. So it was kind of hard for me to rate the duds. I would say in the league that I am with you and your family, which you, gracias. Travis Kelce, bro, what's going on? What is going on with him? What's going on with Patrick Mahomes? Like,
dude,
especially the way where I drafted, I was like, oh, I got Kelce, dude, I got him.
And hey, you wouldn't believe me if I said this to you. I'm sorry.
Bummer.
There's this massive spider. Give me 1 more second.
Oh,
monstrosity of a spider, and it's crawling right to me.
That's fun. What do you guys? What do the phony homies think? Are you excited? Or is it time to panic? Are you happy you have Kelce? Are you happy you have Mahomes? Because honestly, they're not. They're just fantasy wise. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it's there's 2-time or 3-time Super Bowl champs. They're just not, especially where you drafted them. They're not performing where they should be. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
It sucks, man, because I never take those guys, and I took them this year because they fell to
me. Right? Of course,
look, I'm getting burnt. That's what's going on.
That's probably why they fell to you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other guys. Yeah, I really want to tell you real quickly how I'm doing.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm kind of going so. I'm in about 7 leagues this year. Cut it down in half, thinking that I would do better. Save a little bit of cash and focus on my 7 teams. Honestly, bro, I'm like 1-1 in all but like 2 leagues. I'm 2-0-1 in one of the leagues. 0-2 and 1-1 for the rest. It sucks. I did have some monster weeks from some guys. Kyler Murray went off for me. He had 266 yards in the air.
Dude, yes.
59 rushing yards, 3 TDs. Another guy I had that went off for me was James Cook. He went off.
Thursday night. I thought I was dead. I played him 3 times. I thought I was dead. I was like, fuck this. It's a bad week.
3 TDs. He had a huge game. But honestly, man, my biggest bugaboo right now this year is I'm being ravaged by injuries. Just absolutely
A
obliterated,
lot
man.
of teams, a lot of
I don't want
teams,
to.
man. It's
I
been
don't want to
rough.
go into it too much, but I got McCaffrey in some leagues. I
Ooh,
got
I
I
mean,
got Cooper Cup in some leagues. I got Debo
damn.
Samuel on the same teams in some leagues.
Eh.
Tua was my quarterback in some of those leagues.
Ooh,
So
bro.
I'm just ravaged, bro. It's bad. It's bad for
Yeah,
me right now,
especially the CMC pick, man. There's a lot of people that are just like
man.
mother, you
Dude,
know.
at one overall, what was I gonna do? I would
Yeah,
have
I
beat
mean,
myself up if I didn't take them. So it
I've seen
sucks.
a lot of people, and just FYI, phony homies, if you're like commenting on Facebook, I don't see those right away, so don't think I'm
Hmm.
ignoring you. Reason why I bring this up is because when we did our live draft show, um, Jake and I were like debating. He's like, "Should I go CMC or who should I go?" I'm like, "Yeah, CMC." And one of the comments was like, "No, no, no, go Brees Hall, go Brees Hall. He's like the
Hmm.
new guy on the block, if you will." And I wish I would have saw that because honestly, like Brees Hall looks like the smarter pick.
Yeah,
But I mean, I had CMC last year, and he got me all the way to the Super Bowl. Like you can't
yeah.
deny his talent, but it just sucks that man he's been out the first 2 weeks. We'll get into the news and injuries a little bit later, but there's
Hmm.
not good news. And 49ers and the LA Rams, dude, they're just getting fucking pummeled, bro.
Dude, it's bad.
They can't buy they can't just buy anything. They're just screwed.
Nah,
But
it's bad
who
right now.
knows? It's still early. Don't panic yet. Maybe make some trades if you can. I would say some really high sell high candidates. I would say DK Dobbins is a sell
JK.
high
Yeah,
can. Thank
yeah.
you.
Hmm.
I was pulling him up, but I thought I'd just wing it. Um,
Hmm.
I think he's a sell high candidate. I don't think he's gonna make that production um, every week because it's just Gus the Bus. Gus Edwards
Hmm.
is I think gonna overtake that backfield.
Oh, interesting.
Um, so there's where I'm in on that. We got some sneaky
On
starters.
that, I do want to tell you. Um, I don't know if Gus is going to take that job. To be honest, I don't think he would. What I think will happen is J.K. Dobbins may go down with an injury. I hate to predict injuries. That's
Yeah,
not something I
yeah.
like to do. But the guy hasn't stayed healthy in 3 years.
Nope.
Going
And
through torn ACLs, going through ankle injuries, going through all kinds of fucking horrible injuries. I hope it doesn't happen, but he doesn't have the greatest bill of health and the greatest health history, let's say. So I just if for any reason you can go get Gus Edwards, or maybe he's been dropped in places, I would try to
yeah,
don't do that.
grab them. Grab those handcuffs. That's a good point. Grab those handcuffs
Yeah.
now. And also don't panic. It's week 2, bro. Like you haven't lost your league. Still got a lot left to handle. And it's all about the pivot. Like there's no way that you're gonna draft a team and make it all the way to the end. Like all the way and win the whole league with the same players. So
You
that's
want
one thing.
you want some more sell high candidates? I have a few I could think off the top of my
Yeah, go
head.
ahead. Yeah.
Uh, Tight end Brock Bowers from the Raiders had a
Oh,
monster game.
I love him though. I
Yeah,
love him. I can't.
me
Yeah, that's
too.
gonna be
Me
hard.
too.
That's
Me
a hard
too.
one.
He's had 15 catches, if I'm not mistaken, for like 155, 156 yards on 17 targets.
Dude, I just felt cool
He,
because I snagged him. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
fuck you. Y'all made fun of me. Now it's up. Anyways.
yeah. I think he's a good candidate to either buy or sell. It's an interesting, juxtaposition, I guess, for him. You could really go a lot of different ways for him. A guy that I would sell, and people might not like this, I would sell Ramondre Stevenson. Sorry, I just don't think the Patriots are that good of a team. I
Wow.
think he's a good running back. They're using the hell out of him. He's got a bunch of carries. I think he had, over 200 yards so far in the season.
It's
My
not a
whole thing
bad
with him,
take because eventually they're
my
they're
team.
they're gonna start like losing, right? They're
Yeah,
gonna start losing, so they're gonna stop running it as much and they're gonna try to air it out to keep up with these other high power offenses. It's not a bad take.
agreed. No, agreed. Let me give you another name that I think I'd sell personally. Um, I think I might sell Travis Kelsey. I'm kind of scared,
I mean, you can't sell him right now.
dude.
That's one of those. Who are you gonna sell it to? He hasn't done shit in 2 weeks. Who's gonna
If
like
I can
trade you
recoup,
anything?
if I can get 85 cents on the dollar, I would do it. I would do it. I would sell Rashad White
So
in
who?
Tampa. I would sell.
If
Uh-huh.
someone came to you right now and was like, "I want Travis Kelsey, and I will give you who? Who would you pull the trigger on? Let's just say tight ends, or let's just
Just to
say
get
like
there,
maybe wide receiver, like a tight end
I'll
and
give you
wide
a receiver.
receiver.
I'll give you a receiver that I would try to get. Devonta Smith, I think, is going to be huge now that AJ Brown got hurt. I think that's
Couple
the guy you
weeks.
can go
Yeah.
try to
All right.
target.
You would give
Um,
okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, just get on a name.
No,
DJ
that's fine.
Moore, I think, is a buy low candidate. I don't think he's going to be this bad, and I think he's got a higher floor now, I think, than Travis Kelce has. I think the Travis Kelce fall has begun, and I'm scared
Oh
about it,
yeah.
to be honest. So
Yeah.
I'll give you another name, Rashad White. I would sell. It's only been 2 games, but
Yeah, I
he's only
100.
dude. He's had
I didn't even
15
draft
attempts,
him. I didn't even
15
draft
attempts
him.
for 30 yards in week
Dude,
1.
he's trash. He was trash
18
last
yards
year.
on 10
That
carries in week
line
2.
fucking blows. Like Rashad, he was a lot of people were high, and I was like, don't drink that Kool-Aid because he's not.
Go get Bucky Irving. If you can go get Bucky Irving, go get him. I think he's going to
Yo,
start getting some
stop
chances
giving
here.
away our waiver wire.
I'm just saying, look, these are just, we're doing buy and sell here. I'm just giving you some quick names. Let me give you one more. A guy that
I
I
don't
would
even think
sell.
you'd have to buy him. I think you could grab him. But go ahead.
Well, let me give you another. Well, not one. Bucky, who knows? Depends on how deep your league is. But I think you can sell Rashad. I'm scared about DeAndre Swift, dude.
Dude, he is.
And the Bears have running backs. The Bears have running backs, bro. The Bears could go put Kareem Hunt, Roshan, and Travis Homer's getting a ton of looks. I'm not saying roster Travis Homer, but I'm afraid of DeAndre Swift right now. I don't think I would trade for him. I don't think he's going to be as bad as he's been, but I don't know how good he's going to be. I don't think that ceiling is as high as we initially thought.
And what sucks is like the Bears are going to continue to like play him because they're paying him a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
they're paying him a lot of money. So even though you have these backups that are probably going to do better, they're going to like, no, we might as well get our money's worth. The Bears in general, that fucking line, the same old fucking story we talk about every year. But it's, man, Nate Smith, is that the interior, right? The right guard?
No, Nate Davis.
Nate Davis, that motherfucker, bro. He's driving me nuts. If you watch the last 2 games, man, people are just like, just
to be honest,
zooming,
bro, that whole
zooming
line,
around his ass.
Whole line's been bad.
Garbage. Same shit we talked about last year with like Justin Fields. And what really frost my cookies, and I'll get off the Bears for a while, but like, didn't Pohl say like, oh, I want to build our line first, and blah, 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 right? That's what he said. He's like, I want to go some linemen, and it's like, I want the dogs. I don't want these like, well, he's got good character and he's really smart. Like, fuck those, fuck the nerds. I want like the dog. I want the guys like, I want to tear out your motherfucking head. That's who I want.
So. No, I agree. I do see some chats that came in. They were very interesting. I think it's an interesting take. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but interesting take there from Tim.
Ooh, he what's says, up, Tim?
If I could get Bowers for Kelce, I would. Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I think Bowers is him. And I was hesitant to draft a rookie tight end because usually they don't do well. Usually they're just kind of like, it's kind of like maybe on my bench. But I do feel like Brock Bowers is like, he's getting up to that top 15. Won't go top 10 yet, but he's there.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take. I think it's close. I just want to real quick on that. I think it's close. I think there's some guys I'd rather have a little more. Kincaid is one of them. I don't think he's going to be this bad. Just saying.
No, that's another buy low because I think they're going to start using him quite a bit.
I don't think Andrews is washed either, by the way. I don't think Andrews is washed.
He wasn't even in week 1, man. Like, everyone's worried about
targeting him, bro.
Yeah, but he was running most of the routes, and not to mention, they were bracketing him. Like, they came out and they had 3 guys on him the whole fucking time. And all those people that panicked and went after Isaiah Likely, I was like, you're an idiot. Like, yes, he had a good game, but it's because he was open, bro. And like, Andrews isn't done yet. But to be honest, the Ravens are looking a little bit worried about them. They just got their ass kicked by the Raiders, by the way. Funny
True. Facts.
Facts. But I don't know, man. I don't get it because Lamar's got a talent around. He's got his wide receivers, right? He's got his fucking tight end. He got fucking King Henry, so he can like not have to take all these blows, and yet they can't. I mean, they're 0-2. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it to them. They started off with Kansas City, like, all right, tough. It's a tough one. But the Raiders, like, really? Really?
Wild. Wild out here. It's wild out here. Any questions? Anyways. If you guys got questions, don't be afraid to throw them in the chat. More than
got one from Scotty K about the Bears. the next 3 weeks go up against the defense with the most average rushing yards a game this season. Any thoughts that the running game could come back? That's a good point. Very good point. Especially with the Indiana Colts, because what was his name?
Indiana Colts. Hell yeah.
He just went on IR. Fuck, what's his name? God
Who?
bless
Oh
it.
yeah, they had their defensive
Wow.
end. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, it's
the
I
big
can
guy.
fuck Shaq, but no. What the fuck?
No.
Anyways, long story longer.
DeForest Buckner.
There you
DeForest
go.
Buckner.
Thank you. You're
Yeah.
faster on the keys than me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna affect them for sure. Good call, honestly. Good
so I
call.
like that. Good job, Scotty. He also has mentions that the Ravens defense sucks because they added Eddie Jackson. What do you expect?
That's true.
Ayy, da-dong-ting. Nice.
Really quickly here,
Oh,
from the Bears' perspective, they have the Colts coming up. They have the Panthers coming up. They play the Commanders.
dude, who's ever
I
playing
expect,
the
dude,
fucking Carolina Panthers?
those are
That was like,
those are
remember back in the day when like the Browns and the Raiders sucked, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
starting here. So
those are three
go ahead.
get right games. If I've ever seen them,
Yep.
they should win all three of those games, honestly. And I fully expect the offense to definitely turn it around, which is exactly why we're recommending DJ Moore. Buy DJ Moore. Swift, I don't know. I don't know, honestly, but DJ Moore,
Gotta
buy,
get
buy,
that
buy.
line right. I think, Swifty had a great year last year because he had like 300-pound linemen who are just making gashes, just
Yeah,
like huge holes. That's not the Bears line. And that's
yeah,
not going to happen anytime soon. But
true.
yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to the news and notes because we got quite a bit to go. And we could go on and on about how bad the Bears are. Well, we'll see. Got to get our identity. Let's start things off with, if you didn't hear this, Panthers QB Bryce Young has been benched
Damn, for who?
for the Red Rifle.
No, he's
Andy
back. No,
motherfucking Dalton
no
is
way.
starting the QB, but there's also something that broke. Former Panthers QB actually worked out with Carolina. Mr.
No way.
Cam Newton. Yes.
Did he really? Let me look at the news. I
Yeah.
didn't hear that. No way.
Yeah. At Shefty dropped it. A reunion could be happening. Oh my. Honestly, it sucks for the kid. I feel bad. But the last time, Andy Dalton got last year when Brees got help, or I'm sorry, yeah, Brees Young. Anyways, when
Bryce.
Andy Dalton,
Bryce.
Bryce, damn, so close. I was doing good. When he did get injured last year, Andy Dalton put up like 300 yards.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Carolina does actually have some weapons. So this is going to look really good for old man Thielen.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson.
And don't look now.
Yep.
Coming soon. Jonathan Brooks.
So, I mean, it sucks, but I think he's got to learn a few things. The experiment they tried, thank God, it wasn't the Bears. But yeah, man, he needs to grab some pine and take some notes.
I don't think Bryce is young. I don't think he's bad. By the way,
I don't think he's bad.
In the right situation, I think he could actually succeed. I still believe that he's small. I think he's like 5'9", $175, $180, which is very, very small. It's like smaller than Brees, smaller than Russell Wilson.
What about Kyler?
Smaller than Kyler. He's smaller than Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler's 6 foot, right?
I think he's like 5'10", bro.
He's small. Oh, my size. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not to say you're small, but NFL against.
NFL. Yeah, it was like fucking.
Dude.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm just saying. I think there should be some interested teams out there. Someone like the Dolphins, maybe. I don't know what it would cost to get him, but I would be interested.
Moving on to other reunions, the Chiefs' backfield. If you did not know, Isaiah Pacheco had a huge injury, and he's going to be out for a minute or two. So, word on the street, or that came out, is the Chiefs actually worked out and signed Kareem Hunt.
No way.
He's back. Holy crap. I was so excited. I'm very excited about this. But I also kind of hesitant because I remember when they got Bell, 2 years back, I was like, oh shit, it's on. They got Bell. And it didn't really work out. But I think Kareem has a little bit in the tank. This is going to be the biggest waiver wire question of who to pick up.
We'll tell you.
We'll
We'll
get
tell
in
you.
there. We'll get in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I think you should target him. I think this will be a good one. Last but not least, sadly, Tua Tagovailoa is going on IR.
Mm-hmm.
I tried, man. Tried sounding that
Don't
out.
worry, that's a hard one. Yeah.
Is going on IR for his third known concussion, which sucks, man. That's brutal. And there's been talks and it's been back and forth. And there's been players saying, like, maybe you should hang it up. Like, think about your family. There's more, there's more to football than, putting your body at that risk. So that's T's and P's for him and his family. I hope he figures it out. But yeah, he's going to miss at least 4 weeks. In that after those 4 weeks, they're on the bye as well too. So it's just kind of like it's going to be a while. It's going to be a minute before we see Tua if he does suit up again. So we shall see.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. All right, DL. It's time. I hear a knock. Do you hear it? There's a knock on the door.
Oh,
let's get to injuries. All right, guys, it's time to talk about the important injuries, and we have someone in studio that you guys have been dying to hear from. The one, the only, the Doc is in the house. What's up, Doc? Oh, damn.
What's up, my guy?
Cool ass, Doc. Oh, shit,
right.
Man.
Been very busy.
Dude,
just been busy.
No, we couldn't book you for like 7 episodes. What's going on?
Well, my friend Puffy has been going through some issues.
Buffy, Vampire Slayer?
No, Puffy. Puff Daddy just got indicted in New York. So I've been kind of helping him out.
Trying. Are you looking at his rashes? What are you doing?
No, I'm just trying to keep on the DL. Just, hung out with him, went to his island a couple times. Anyways, that's not why I'm here. Can't talk about ongoing cases. Look, but Doc, I'm so glad you guys booked me again. So you guys are still in the basement. Hopefully things are turning around for you guys shortly. Maybe you'll get a sponsor or two.
Maybe.
But I'm here. So what's
talk
up?
To Puffy, please, for us. Talk to Puffy. We'll clear his name. So, all right, Doc. Look, there's been a ton of crazy injuries. We need you to break it down for us. Oh, the Doc drinks on the job. Okay. All right. Didn't see that coming. Doc, let's go over to let's go over to San Francisco. What can you tell us about Christian McCaffrey?
Man, oh man, you must have been some dumb son of a bitch if you drafted him, because he is he's on the IR right now with Achilles, like chili Achilles. So that means you're not gonna see his ass until like week 6, maybe week 7, and with maybe they don't even need him anymore because I heard Jason's doing well, so sucks to suck.
What a breakdown! What a fantasy breakdown! Let's jump over to Philly. What's going on with AJ Brown?
AJ Brown is dealing with a hammy or a hamstring injury. And this report came out. I told him to be quiet, just wait till after the game, but he can't help himself. He's a likable guy. He had mentioned that he's going to be out for a couple of games. Now, I try to get clarification and are you counting tonight as one of those couple of games, or is it like +2? Didn't tell me to get away from him.
Yeah, you and Philly don't have a good relationship. Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
Ever since anyways, that one fat Eagles girl tried talking to you, I think ever since then.
Listen, that was a long night, okay? And sometimes you got to go hogging. Okay, moving on. I know this is why you really brought me on. You wanted me to talk about Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, my cousin. What's going on with him? On Mexican Independence Day, what can you tell me?
I can tell you that he fractured his fibula, so his ass ain't going to be on, or he's going to be out for at least a minimum 6 weeks. The current report times is between 6 to 8 weeks. I would put him towards the longer of that because he fractured his fibia. That's like not good. Like that's super freaking bad. Okay.
Did he break his phalanges?
No, not this time.
No.
It's
No
just
phalanges.
the good news is that yeah, his ligaments are looking okay. Once the fibula heals normally, he'll be able to return and shouldn't have any performance decrease. So he's going to be back. He's going to be pounding that ground just like Shannon. The bad news is, of course,
that's your boy, by the way.
How do you think he got the sparks?
Oh,
let me know.
Let's go back to San Fran. What's going on again with Debo?
Man, it's like it's like a domino effect, right? We got Debo Samuel with a calf strain. Debo has a calf strain after CMC. This is concerning for the 49ers, right? Who took their first 2024 loss to Sam Darnold, this past weekend. Like McCaffrey, Debo can do everything for San Francisco, from catching, passing, breaking up the backfield. Now with both of 49ers, will be relying much more on Jordan Mason, and Brandon Ike, who got all that money, but ain't doing nothing.
Right? Yeah.
It's usually
there's an ad there. Look, there's an ad after the Debo Samuel injury. There's an ad after the Pacheco injury. There's an ad after the A.J. Brown injury that we are going to get to a little later. Doc.
So. But here's the thing with Debo. I think he's going to be back in a couple of games. I think they're just like, hey, I know Debo. He's been injured quite a bit. Thank the good Lord he pays on time. Another big, outstanding injury. Man, I'm so tired. So tired of talking about legs and phalanges and ligaments and ligament. Cooper Kupp hurt his ankle. Really couldn't. And this is what happened, right? Puka went down with the knee. I was like, what's up, Puka? Just chill. And I was like, Cooper, like, just hang in there, buddy. But no, what did that selfish prick do? Matthew Stafford threw him the ball 21 freaking times. Of course he's going to get nailed. But anyways, the last 2 years, he's actually been kind of riding with this ankle and hamstring injuries, counting for a ton of missed times on the field. The ankle injury will, why is that high ankle sprain? Thanks. The ankle injury will be no explanation, and he's an ideal candidate for the IR. He's going on the IR.
So, you think he'll go?
I think he'll go. I think they're just
no bitch.
Yeah, and they heard they're down a guard too. They've lost I think their second starting guard. So
yeah, that team's shambles.
Yeah,
they're probably employing you full time over there, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm in LA, baby.
Hey, LA Bears fan.
Honey Bears, that is. Joe Mixon was injured too this past Sunday night. He's actually dealing with an ankle during a hip drop tackle.
Yeah, TJ Edwards.
I thought they were going to make sure that that wasn't gonna.
I thought you led like the committee about that, so like you could like reduce the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to talk to him, and Goodell's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." I was like, "Thank you, sir. Give me my money." But they're really like focused on like the linemen like being a little too far back, but they don't give a shit about someone getting rocked on the ground. Like Shannon Sharp.
Talk to him.
But honestly, like reports are kind of coming out. It's not as bad as everyone thinks. They're saying like 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think that's true. I think he's going to come back a little bit sooner. I'm wavering on long-term 2 weeks. I don't think he's going to go 3. Okay, moving on. Evan Ingram out with a hammy. Once again, we're seeing, what are we seeing? We're seeing hammies and ankles, right? So tape that shit. Ingram was ruled out with a hamstring injury. He sustained a pre-game warm-up, so he's just a wiener. Probably shouldn't have been, take it easy, bro. He didn't even get hit. Essentially, he treated his hamstring injury for tightness in tight ends as the same as wide receivers. It's a recipe for disaster. I expect him to miss another 1 to 2 weeks. And then if he doesn't rest enough to or fix the underlying problem, he could re-injure it. Last, but definitely not least, which is really shocking, after a 97-yard tutty, Justin Jefferson.
Oh no, what happened?
He's got a quad contusion.
So Bruce.
It's a big bruise. It's not little.
Oh, you saw it. Yeah, you saw his big bruise.
Oh yeah, I was like, dang, dude, that's a bruise, my guy. It literally caused him to exit the game. Following the game, he said he wasn't worried about it. Conspiracy theory, though, a lot of people think that it's because the NFL is rigged and he was getting too many points during fantasy and he was messing up the line. For what it's worth, get your tin hat. But anyways, that's a good sign, right? Nothing to worry about. They're listing him as day-to-day. Good news and exciting for the Vikings fan base and managers who saw their team take down a dominant 49 squad. We know Jefferson will do anything it takes to take care of his body, including sitting out. So monitor the practice reports. And that's it, guys. I guess thanks for having me back.
Doc,
and
I have a question for you.
29 people here. So
Doc,
great. Awesome.
Hold on. I do have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
I know you've been in the game for a long time.
Have been.
I know you were like a kid, like genius, savant. You were a doctor at like 7 years old. But I do have a question. Were you there when Biggie got shot? And what can you tell me about the day he got shot?
Well, it's been great, guys. Good luck in your fantasy football. Plead the fifth. I don't know. It's fucking P.
Whatever.
It was Combs. Combs set that shit up.
Oh shit!
Jealous.
It was. I knew it. Fuck yeah, I knew it. And that's why I was going fucking down. I knew it.
It's the fucking cops. I gotta go, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Doc. I appreciate you as always. Phony homies, it's time to get to the reason why you're here, the reason why you're tuning in, as always, other than this great fantasy advice. It's time to get to the waivers. Now, DL will be here back in a moment, but I do want to get started with the waivers and talk to you guys about who you guys should add. What's up, DL?
What's up, my guy? All right.
You missed the doc. Did you see him on the way out?
Dude, he did one of those hip tackles on me.
Oh, damn.
Injured now. I broke my fibula. Anyways.
You're phalanges?
Okay. They'll work.
All right, yeah, let's get to waivers. DL, as always, there are a ton of injuries and a ton of people who are going to step up. Let's jump over to quarterbacks right off the bat. DL, the first guy we're going to go ahead and recommend for people to add is none other than Derek Carr. Not to be confused with David Carr, his brother. I hear.
We may be having technical difficulties. Looks like JC got frozen, but as he was mentioning, awesome. Yeah, David Carr, he's looking pretty good, right? He's 8% roster. Carr beat up the Panthers team and got this team and destroyed a great Cowboys defense. No one called that. Nobody thought that they were going to go all the way for that. So yeah, he's playing like a top 5 right now with guys like Love, Tua, McCaffrey, Herbert, and Russell Wilson. Derek Carr is a must-add, although I would be cautious. I know JC said this, but I would be a little cautious on it because I think he's going to come back down to earth, but not this week. So yes, I agree with that. We're going to move on to Sam Darnold. Holy smokes, that's a guy from the past. He's 2% roster right now. He's not quite Derek Carr right now, but he's throwing 4 TDs and only 2 interceptions this season. He's averaging about 20 points in fantasy, so not a bad guy to stream or even put in, especially if you have Anthony Richardson or someone like that who just you're kind of like, do I start him again or do I not? I would not start Anthony Richards against the Bears. The Bears defense is actually doing really good. You could do worse than him. He's a perfect QB2 in Superflex leagues and a solid fill-in streamer. We're going to go ahead and talk about two sneaky stashes, or really just one, but Geno Smith, 10% rostered at this time. Geno's coming off a 327-yard effort this past week against the Packers. Those same Patriots made Joe Burrow look pedestrian in week 1. Although he doesn't have a great matchup against Miami this week, his roster percentage should definitely be going up since he plays the Giants in week 4. Not a bad take. Honestly, like Miami's D, I don't know. Are they? I mean, against Seattle, I would say maybe they're going to be better, but overall, yeah, I would just kind of wait or maybe hold off until week 4. So kind of that sneaky stash. Last but not least, Justin Fields, sneaky stash just in case everyone clicks at the same point. It's entirely possible that Tomlin will find a way to maximize his talent and he explodes. I do agree with that. And I think word came out that they're going to stick with Fields again this week. So if you have Russ, man, I don't know what to do. But yeah, it sucks. I don't know why you would draft him. Moving on, we're going to hit these RBs. This one's tough. Hopefully JC can log back in because the first guy that I'm recommending is Samaje Perine. He's 6% roster. I feel like, especially in PPR formats, this might be the guy because he's going to be catching a lot. He's going to be like that pass catcher running back. He's going to see some third down work. The only thing is that you got Justin Steele, right? So it's kind of a toss-up, and with news with Kareem Hunt being back, it's a little bit rough. So right now I would go with Samaje first. And then maybe Carson Steele, if you couldn't get him after Isaiah Pacheco's injury. He and Perine led are the last men up. If possible, that Steele becomes a solid RB3 flex play until Pacheco returns. I just feel more the safe bet would be Samaje Perine. Carson Steele could, start really like showing off and being that guy, but I'm a little cautious on him. Kareem Hunt, maybe. He might be a stash. I wouldn't start him. If you're going to start anyone, I would go Samaje Perine. That's at least just my take on the whole situation. Moving on. Let's see here. My second one, I really like. This is kind of like my favorite one. I would say Bucky Irving. He's 34% rostered, so he may be kind of hard to find in most of your leagues. But if you find him, I definitely would grab him. And here's why. Rashid White is actually dealing with a groin injury. In the back I would say Bucky seems to be more of a lock-in. And there's been rumors that he could actually overtake the role in Tampa Bay. I really feel like, sorry. Just getting this. Okay, JC's just letting me know he's trying to connect. Anyway, I really feel like Bucky Irving is that guy. I think he will oversee him. I think that Rashad White, really, it was just kind of sus, to be honest. Like, I had him last year. He was okay. He was kind of middle of the pack, but I really like the production that Bucky Irving is getting. This week, they're going up against, Denver, which are about the 12th ranked defense with or against running backs. So kind of in the middle of the road kind of pack. So it's not going to be like, whoa, oh my gosh, he's got 6 touchdowns or anything crazy like that. But I feel like he's a solid start. The next guy is more of a stash, especially, or a handcuff, if you will. Braylon Allen is 10% rostered. Like I said, this is more of a stash than anything else, but he did actually get 2 touchdowns in his second game in the NFL. Obviously, Breece Hall still has that starting role. I don't think he's going to give that up. But the way these injuries are flying around, I honestly feel like this this would be a good guy to kind of stash, or even if you grab him, you may be able to get a trade, especially with that Brees Hall manager. So something to think about. Yeah, just kind of keep it moving. So we're gonna go over to the wide receivers now. Jawan Jennings, he's rostered in 1%, right? So he plays for the 49ers. After Deebo Samuel news, the 49ers are left trying to replace him. Ooh, and I heard it. I heard someone joining. I don't know what happened. Anyway, he's set to absorb most of Deebo's targets and worth picking up against the Rams this week. So as we kind of mentioned, the Rams are just dealing with a lot, although their defense is okay. I don't really think they're that amazing. Next, now these are JC's picks. Jerry Jeudy in Cleveland. 27% rostered. Jeudy is a wide receiver 29 in fantasy through week 12. He's been in Cleveland de facto wide receiver 1. 8 catches for 98 yards and a TD, with Amari Cooper off to an extremely slow start. Might be someone for that flex option, deeper leagues. I would go with, I don't know, the Browns. I mean, they look better in week 2. I will give them that. They look better in week 2. However, I just don't know. I'm just trying to figure out exactly, what their identity is. This one I am really excited for. This one I would probably target a little bit more than some of them or most of them. Let's see. Not right there. Okay. Anyways, Quentin Johnson, rostered 1%. How quickly we forget the former 2023 first-round pick. Johnson led the Chargers in routes, 19 targets, 6 receptions, 5 receiving yards for 51 yards, a TD or a TD catch, 2 of them in week 2. I don't know what he wrote here. Now he faces a much tougher matchup in week 3, going against the Steelers' defense, and status of Justin Herbert is worth monitoring after he got rolled up. So once again, deeper league stash, or if you're kind of on the bottom of the waiver wire, if you will, fab, I wouldn't spend too much fab on them, but who knows. Darnell Mooney. Now this one's pretty interesting. I actually had Darnell, dropped him just because I don't know, just he wasn't doing it for me, but he is rostered 7%. And after a slow week, Mooney exploded for 88 yards receiving, a touchdown just last week. So he now leads the team in 57 routes and receive. Let me read that again. He now leads the team in routes, 57 of them, of course, and receiving yards of 103. I'm not going to expect 3 chunk yard plays a week from Mooney, but it's clear Cousin is more willing to look his way. Let's not forget, Mooney was the fantasy wide receiver 22 in 2001. The last on here, we're going to go with Alec Pierce of the Indiana Colts. One thing to keep in mind, Anthony Richardson actually was talking about him and trying to make him more relevant, and kind of really throwing him out there like he's the guy, right? Tried everything, can't get in. That's because JC has a shitter net. Anyways, I'm going to keep it going. So Alec Pierce is rostered at 16%. He had a big play, Pierce was added again, leading the Colts with 5 catches for 56 yards and a tutty in week 2. He now scored a tutty in consecutive games for the first time in his career. Pierce led the Indiana receivers with 53 snaps, 95% of the offense plays in Green Bay. Tough and clearly has established some trust with QB Anthony Richardson. Couldn't agree more, right? And especially, man, some of you guys really were thinking about Pittman. You thought that was going to be the guy, and now it's kind of coming down to the where I'm nervous to start Pittman. I don't know if I want to keep rolling him out. If you can, maybe pivot over to him. 16%. That's pretty low. Okay, cool. We're gonna head over to the tight ends. Gonna hear some familiar names. We're gonna start off with Hunter Henry, tight end for New England. He's 17% roster. First 2 weeks, Henry easily led the Patriots in routes, targets, receptions, and yards. His 27.5% target share ranks second to only Trey McBride among the tight ends, Brock Bowers, and the other tight end even above 20%. So he's coming off a 12 target, 109-yard game. Henry should absolutely be added in all formats, which I agree. Reliable. Let's go for it. Man, Colby Parkinson, Kobe Jack, so I like to call him. 25% rostered. He is a tight end for the Rams. He didn't have such a great game last week. However, with Puka Nacua out and Kupp missing a solid chunk of snaps, Parkinson's week 2 performance was underwhelming as he caught only 1 of 2 targets for 12 yards. However, he posted 70% route participation rate, second on the team only behind Robinson. So I'd be cautious, but if you're desperate, if you're just not really wanting to roll out your Isaiah Lakely that you got last week because he was not that great, that might be a guy you want to roster. Another sneaky stash, I would say, would be Juwan Smith, the tight end from Miami. He's only 4.5% roster. So honestly, when Smith was first signed in Miami, it was a very interesting landing spot for really just fantasy purposes. Smith has always been an athletic freak for tight end position, and Mike McDonald is the best in the league for giving fast guys the space to touch and shine. So I would say sneaky stash. He's number 3. He's going to take a lot. This would be a stash, right? This is like case you have an Andrews and you want like kind of a backup, or just someone that if you have room on your bench that you want to see how he comes around. Tight ends are really hard, right? It's tight end wasteland. But if you look at Brock Bowers, he's starting to have a really good season. So this might be one of those guys. If you have room, he might be your guy. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. That's your waivers. If you do pick up any of those waivers and they were a hit, please let us know, man. Hit us up in the chat. Comment on our pages. Obviously, you know where to find us. Hit us up on Twitter. So that's going to do it for this episode. Obviously, tweet at us at tweetffg using the hashtag AskUsFFG. Of course, if it's Sunday morning and you're still debating who to start or who to sit, you can always email us at askusffg@gmail.com. Or since JC ditched out on me because I think he's lying, I think his connection's good, I just feel like he got tired and want to go to bed. But feel free to give him a call, voicemail, text at 708-655-4508. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in, all 41 of you. It's been awesome. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for not making fun of me stumbling over bad names. I'm horrible with names, but I appreciate it. We're going to be back here every Tuesday night around 9 o'clock. And hopefully JC will get his shitternet fixed, and we'll see you next time. But remember, always like, subscribe, and smash that notification button. We'll see you here next Tuesday